is Farzar. It was a peaceful planet before the evil aliens invaded. But Renzo protected his people from the aliens and their diabolical leader, Bazarack.
So yeah, this is Pramit from Digital Mafia Talkies. And so I watched the first 3 episodes of Farzar and I had an absolute ball watching it. So my first question to all the 3 of you is that you have created something more depraved and wackier than Paradise PD. So what was your pitch to Netflix for Farzar and Renzo for the role of Lance?
You really think it's worse than Paradise? Come on. You saw what Hobson did in that tank, man. You know. You know, we just in our pitch, we had animated when Scootie dove into the rock monster. We had that bit to show them, so they knew what they were getting into. They knew exactly what we're gonna do with this. But we're just super excited to get to do a sci-fi show because it's just like with animation, anything can happen. And when we're developing this, Lance was the first person that we thought of, and we had Lance's voice in our head the whole time we were writing the pilot, and then we had to convince him to do it. We had to beg him to do it.
It wasn't too hard because they had they had recorded all the stuff that I didn't want people to hear, and they kept it from the Paradise stuff. So they're like, we're gonna blow this out on social media if you don't say yes. I was like, oh man.
We had to blackmail him.
And the first thing that I thought about after finishing the first 3 episodes is that how therapeutic is it to work with Waco and Roger, because you get to unload the most creative insults and be a part of the weirdest scenarios possible. Or like, do you have to go on a detox vacation after that?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, the good news is that I think most of my recording was done when I was in South Africa. Is that right, guys?
Yeah.
I was actually in South Africa working on another job. So I was recording this while I was doing that. So fortunately, I had other things to distract me. Otherwise, yeah, I would have needed more therapy than normal.
And which of the creations from the show do you wish existed in real life? So we have sentient dildos, rock and roll squid band, puppy simulator, and a portable ginger that can wreak all kinds of havoc. And there's Billy also.
Roger, what do you think?
Could you repeat the question, please?
I was saying that which of the creations from the show do you wish existed in real life? Like sentient dildos, rock and roll squid band, and all that.
Oh yeah, rock and roll squid. I mean, you can listen to them play, and then you can enjoy them at the Cheesecake Factory, deep fried. I mean, that was an easy one.
It's cold, man.
Oh, that was cold-blooded, Roger. Okay.
And the rest of you?
I want to hang out with Billy. Go ahead, Lance.
Yeah.
Are you gonna say Billy? I was gonna say Billy, but y'all say something else. Well, what's my man, the robot?
Scootie.
I forget his name.
Scootie.
It's funny because one of my cousin's nickname is Scootie. So yeah, Scootie.
So the show, yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say Billy. I love Billy just because he calls out how ridiculous everything is. He's like the voice of the audience.
Oh, see, that's not my favorite part of Billy. My favorite part about Billy is how free he is to sexuality. He just be standing anyway and jerk off. Oh, it's time. Oh, I just feel like, he don't care.
I was just about to say, I like Billy because he's such a sympathetic character. But yeah he does. He
just whips it out.
Yeah.
Well, Lance, you haven't even got to the best part. If you've only seen the first 3, you guys don't know the best parts of Billy yet. Trust me. There's hidden features to Billy that Barry put in hidden different spots. About episode 8, well, maybe a little in episode 3, but episode 8, you find out everything Billy's got going on. So
okay.
And there are a lot of like Flash Gordon and Masters of the Universe and Scooby-Doo even influences. So, and since it is sci-fi, you kind of go out there to parody them. So are there any favorites among your 3?
Well, yeah, I mean, Masters of the Universe, Roger and I were huge fans. I mean, Roger still has all the toys. My mom threw them away but I had all the figures, watched the cartoon, which I try to show the kids a cartoon. I realized that it sucks, but back then it was like my favorite thing. So to have the chance to kind of do a parody of the old 80s cartoon was great. We really love that. And Roger still has stinkor. And if we get really stressed out, we just smell stinkor because he still stinks. And it's just instant relaxation.
Still got that plastic / patchouli smell to this day, like 30 years later, you can still, especially the head region, it really, gets your spirits up, man. Having a bad day, sniff a stinkor.
And the Scooby-Doo bit was fun. We got to do an original song for that. And in fact, it was all like just Scootie and the drug trip was one of our favorite jokes, definitely.
And did Netflix ever tell you like you have to kind of reel something in, or did you just have full creative control over all of that?
That's a great thing about Netflix is we really don't get notes. They just kind of let us go wild, and it's pretty awesome.
And one of the most surprising things that I noticed in the first 3 episodes, that you are also surprisingly commenting on like colonialism and how history is written in favor of like the oppressors. And so how do you kind of balance all that with your unique brand of comedy?
I'm so glad you get that, because everybody says we like the low brow, but yeah, we do like to do commentary. And in Paradise PD 2, we just don't like to be too preachy about it or too heavy-handed, but we love to do commentary. And the great thing with this show in the future, you can do it without being so on the nose, but I'm so happy that you picked up on that. And that was kind of like the first thing we thought of the show, like, oppressing the aliens and the humans, kind of pushing them off their own land and putting a dome in and claiming the planet. So yeah, I think it's great. And I think with the type of comedy we do, I think you need a little bit of that kind of smart thread through to help the jokes go down a little better, to justify how the show justifies itself.
Yeah, I mean, the second episode's all about unionizing and being other than, and as servants being considered like less than, not human. Even though, I mean, it's robots, but I mean, I guess that's part of the metaphor.
Absolutely. I think people are going to be surprised how smart some episodes are, because if you watch the trailer, it's tough. A trailer never represents the show. You got 2 minutes, and then of course the trailer people are like, let's put every dirty joke. So we try to pull it back a little bit, but you don't want to make it too tame, because our hardcore fans want the dirtiness. But I think people will be surprised when they watch it that there are some commentary, and it's just not all a bunch of lowbrow jokes slammed together. So I appreciate that you picked up on that. That's great.
And this might be a spoiler question, but can we expect a 3-way crossover between Paradise PD, Farzar, and Brickleberry? Like, is an Agent Clapper versus Renzo on the cards?
Well, there might be an Agent Clapper surprise season 1, but absolutely, that is our dream, to have a triple crossover. So you hit the nail on the head. We are hopeful that will happen in the future. A target on season 3 if we get there.
All right, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much for having me, and I wish you all the best for the show.
Thank you for everything you've done for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
All right, take it easy.
Yes, bye.
Hold on. Is this gonna be more like Futurama or Rick and Morty?
It's gonna be more like shut the fuck up.